Hello everyone, today we come to Season 2 of Arifureta Shokugyou the Sekai Saikyou. Before watching the movie, please like and follow the channel to support me. In the previous part, we followed Hajime's journey with his beautiful wives to explore mysterious mazes in order to find the way back to Earth, not knowing that after Kaori joined the team, the great giant, is this family safe? Now, let's continue the journey of Hajime. The group of heroes that explored the Great Orcus Labyrinth returned safely. Fortunately, there was a Hajime to rescue, otherwise all of them would have been lying down, to celebrate this return. Princess Liliana threw a sumptuous party, everyone was happy, but the Daisuke still hadn't recovered when he saw the power of Hajime and his wives. Cookie was completely devastated when her crush Kaori followed Hajime. Back to the dead man's family, now they are enjoying the air conditioning in a luxury car to cross the desert. Sitting in the car with too much free time, Kaori and you began to lose each other to see who knew better about Hajime. His habits and hobbies were all exposed by the two women, but in the end you won because only you know Hajime's preferences in bed. It's true that the first wife is different. Suddenly, while driving, our amputee guy had to accept extremely terrible pressure, both having to confront the giant worms and being pressed by the black dragon with two breasts on his head. Despite being under great pressure, with the racing boy's blood flowing in his veins, Hajime still managed to dodge and safely escape an attack of giant worms. They chased and attacked continuously as if they wanted to swallow the car. Even though the situation was extremely dangerous, Kaori still used to rush to hug Hajime. So the eldest wife had to tie her up so that the Hajime could concentrate on driving. The worms chased endlessly, so Hajime used his superior ability to control the car while reversing and firing heavy rockets to destroy them. After defeating the monsters, Hajime started to rush towards the place where they gathered. The machine gun appeared and fired at them at full speed. The entire desert area was covered with dust by this god. After defeating the worms, they discovered a man lying in the desert. Through the healing ability of Kaori, they knew that this person was being hit by a poison that caused the mana in the body to be disturbed. Fortunately, I met the Hajime group, otherwise I would have gone to see the old people. After recovering, the man introduces himself as the son of the lord of the Ankaji Principality, named Zengen. Everyone realized that it was near the town of Arizen, where Mew was born, because everyone was going to go there too, so Hajime asked Zengen to tell him everything. It turned out that a few days ago, the water source at Akanji was poisoned. This poison was the same poison discovered in Zengen's body earlier. It caused people to have a high fever and then collapse. To cure the symptoms, they need to find the stalactites in the great volcano Grun. Incidentally, the Grun volcano is also a great labyrinth, so Hajime decided to help Zengen solve this problem. At the demon base, Mikhail was furious that the demon Katia had been defeated in the Great Orcus Labyrinth. Even so, more than 60,000 monsters in or town were defeated in less than half a day. The high-ranking demon Fried would personally go to the Grun volcano to get the power of the Age of Gods within it and then take revenge on Hajime's group. By the way, he was determined to destroy this powerful opponent even though he had never met it face. The next morning, the group of Hajime reached the Ankaji. The gloomy, desolate scene caught their eyes. She and Kaori decided to use healing magic to help the people in danger. You used her power to create a pool of water enough for the entire kingdom to use for several days before purifying the groundwater. Then they ran to the water source to investigate. Through his magic eye stone, Hajime discovered something abnormal at the bottom of the river. After eating a bunch of grenades, a purple water monster appeared. It attacked him but was stopped by Hajime's two wives. Finally Hajime fired one shot at the magic stone inside it, successfully dealing with the monster with just one bullet. Even if the monster is defeated, the water will take time to recover, but it is still more important to find the static stone to eliminate the toxins of those who have been infected. Since this trip was quite dangerous, Hajime left Kaori in the kingdom while looking after his alcoholic daughter. Along the way, everyone encountered giant earthworms, but these weak monsters were only enough for Hajime to heat up his weapon. After defeating the earthworms, they also succeeded in entering Great Volcano Grun. They also discovered static stones, but the number was too small, so Hajime decided to go deeper to look. On the way, a lava monster stood up to stop them and was immediately beaten by she with a hammer. This is a ferocious rabbit, but what a cute thing. Huge amounts of crystals were also found very quickly. Hajime decided that he would come here anyway, so it was to conquer this great passion. The further down, the temperature in the labyrinth increased. The temperature was too hot, so you gave birth to hallucinations and delirium, so Hajime had to create a cave for the group to rest. After that, the group continued on their way by Hajime's homemade boat. Finally they reached the deepest part of the maze. Thinking that they could conquer this maze easily, immediately the fireballs appeared from nowhere to attack the Hajime. The lava snakes appeared to attack the Hajime but was defeated by him with special bullets. However, every time you kill this one, another one will appear. Eventually Hajime's group knows that when a snake dies, a treasure will break. To pass this level, they have to kill a total of 100 snakes. The three wives also competed their talents by showing off the strength of each. When there were only 5 children left, Hajime was hit by a powerful blow that made the 3 wives panic, then Hajime completely collapsed. Fortunately you came and caught him and brought him to safety. Before understanding what was happening, consecutive attacks from above fell. Tio and Yu immediately created a barrier to protect Hajime from death. The mighty demon army led by Freed appeared. Upon meeting him praised Hajime for being the first to receive his attack and still alive. He introduced himself as an apostle of the gods, came to destroy the infidels. Despite the fact that he possessed the magic of the Age of Gods, Hajime and his wives were determined to attack him as their goal was to destroy anyone who dared to stand in his way. Countless attacks of Hajime and wives were launched but they were all nullified by the turtles that looked quite itchy. Freed began to counterattack. His attack was so powerful that the Hajime struggled and fell into danger. Tio now remembered her father's teachings so she unleashed her hidden power. The strength of the last of the dragon people rose up in the form of a mighty black dragon. She attacked the dragon returning to Freed to distract him. Taking advantage of that, Hajime rushed to beat him once to get angry. Tio at this time also taught the baby dragons what it was called fire breathing. Hajime was about to continue attacking but his body reached its limit so he fainted and fell. Fortunately Tio caught him in time. The demon saw that he had encountered a strong opponent, so he destroyed the structure of the labyrinth causing lava to flow. They also escaped immediately with a plan to destroy the Hajime by burying him along with the great labyrinth Grun. Because the people of Enkaji are in dire need of crystals, Hajime gave the artifact to Tio so that she could escape to save the people first, and me and my 2 wives would find a way out later. Yu and she covered Tio from the dragon's attacks. After successfully escaping from the volcano, she gifted the demons outside with a terrifying explosion. On the other hand, Liliana also noticed an anomaly from her father and the soldiers beside her. The Daisuke scum is furious at Kaori leaving with Hajime. The mysterious voice resounds again, promising to help him stop Kaori. With his wretched nature and feelings for Kaori, he continues to participate in a sinister plan. Back to the Black Dragon Girl, after suffering powerful attacks, even though she was seriously injured, she still managed to fly to the royal capital Enkaji. Kaori was now in a panic when Tio was the only one who came back and was seriously injured. While still recovering, Tio and Kaori decided to take Miu to the town of Arizan first so that she could find her mother. Hajime and his 2 wives are now safe and adrift at sea. Recalling the time when the 3 of them were in great danger in the great labyrinth of Grun when the molten lava was rising higher and higher, fortunately she and Yu were able to bring Hajime into the secret room in time. After the 3 advanced entering the magic circle, the circle glows and grants him space powers. Then Nei's Grun's messages appear, as well as other labyrinths. Nei's also leaves magic and artifact for him. Broke his maze. After receiving the ancient magic and the artifact, the 3 of them came out of the secret room and headed straight for the Hajime's submarine that was preparing to explore the upcoming Melusine undersea labyrinth. The only thing that worries him is whether this ship can work in lava or not. Although the ship's hull can withstand the heat of lava, its rudder has problems. The lava flow quickly engulfed the ship. Fortunately they were pushed by the lava straight into the sea. The monsters that did not know the height and thickness of the earth came to attack them, but they were shot by Hajime using their modern torpedoes. All 3 were also safe. While eating, they were ambushed by a group of mermaids. These guys were quite aggressive, so the Hajime used the fish as a weapon to fly out of the ship. At this moment, Papa's voice rang out. It turned out to be Miu, the girl who jumped from the back of the black dragon and flew straight down with the Hajime. You must think you're a bird, not a fish. So Hajime and Yu combined to help her. Then they also found the island of the mermaid. Miu was finally reunited with her mother. At the palace side, teachers Aiko and Shizuku are worried because the king has ordered the conclusion that Hajime are heretics. They all felt that the king and the high-ranking gods and some of the soldiers had been acting strange recently. Then Aiko also told Shizuku the story about the supreme god that Hajime had told her. Back to Hajime and the others, they were wandering in the sea not knowing how to find the Melusine labyrinth when the artifact from the Grun labyrinth happened to the moon brother. It directly collects energy from the moonlight and then shines a light to guide them. After defeating the stalking monsters with his improved weapon, Hajime used the artifact to shine moonlight energy on the symbol on the cliff, successfully opening the great Melusine labyrinth. On their way into the labyrinth, the monsters were quickly slain by the Hajime's wives. Hajime felt how weak the monsters in this labyrinth were. Just as he finished speaking, a slimy monster appeared. Yu was using her shield when she discovered a monster that had the ability to corrode magic. After that, it also turned into a giant super slimy monster. They continuously attacked the monster and then combined to launch a blow that caused the monster to disintegrate. But then, this strange monster returned to its original form. Hajime, seeing that this monster had the ability to regenerate, used his magic eye stone to find its magic stone but found nothing. Realizing that the situation was extremely dangerous, he destroyed the underwater space to find a way to retreat. Since Kaori was in danger, Hajime asked his eldest wife's permission and went to save her. The group has also been separated since then. Currently only Hajime and Kaori are together. They continue to go deeper into the great labyrinth until they encounter a grave of ships. Suddenly, the surrounding space suddenly changed, putting two people in the middle of a naval battle. The bullets that flew were strangely unaffected by his shots. An injured man appeared. Kaori used magic to heal him, instantly turning him to ashes. Immediately Hajime realized that these things could only be affected by magic, so he immediately poured more of his magic power into the gun and charged in to kill all the soldiers that were made of magic. After he got out, he told the truth about his feelings to Yu to let Kaori know. Right now at the palace, Princess Liliana discovered that the mysterious nun attacked the teacher Aiko, causing her to faint. After making her feelings known to Kaori, Hajime picked her up and jumped onto the biggest boat. The images appear immediately. In front of them was a banquet honoring the peace between races being held. The leaders of the demons and demi-humans were eating and drinking with humans happily. Immediately, the king of the human race turned his face and ordered his soldiers to kill all other races without mercy. Before returning to reality, Hajime discovered a very suspicious woman. He also realized that what he had just cut through was Malusine's intention. She wanted the labyrinth explorer to know the madness of the gods and to follow the path of revolution. While going inside, Hajime discovered that this place was designed with a lot of physical traps. Kaori was also separated from there. Immediately the guards also appeared to surround the Hajime, but with just a few simple shots, the Hajime completely destroyed the soldiers. Kaori at this time approached to kiss Hajime when he was fed a few magic bullets by him. He soon learned that an evil spirit had entered Kaori. Black let it enter anyone who did not enter the correct girlfriend of the young man. This cattle. With decisive magic bullets and fierce killing intent, the Hajime succeeded in scaring the soul away. Kaori woke up and quickly kissed Hajime. She has also decided to stay with Hajime no matter what, no matter how many wives he has. After overcoming that challenge, everyone was finally reunited. They stepped up to the circle in the center, successfully receiving the revival magic with extremely strong vitality. Finally, they have collected 4 artifacts, qualified to enter the Jukai labyrinth. On the side of the palace, the students were extremely worried about Princess Liliana and Aiko since it's been 3 days and they still haven't been found. Hajime and the others, after conquering the Melusine labyrinth, played and danced on the Fishman's Island for 10 days straight. Before leaving, Hajime said goodbye to Miu because from now on, the road ahead it was too dangerous to take her with her. He promised his daughter alcohol after finishing work will lead everyone back here and take her and his wives to Earth. Miu's mother also asked to come along. Anyway, the new father of his daughter is so handsome and cool. After saying goodbye to his daughter and new wife, Hajime continued on his way. The situation in the kingdom is very serious right now. Princess Liliana now only runs away to find help because she discovers that the father and the soldiers have changed strangely. The whole palace is no longer one. Who is more trustworthy? The demon corps led by Freed prepares to organize a general attack on the royal palace. Countless demons and undead are summoned for this powerful attack. The captain at this time also noticed the lifelessness in the eyes of the soldiers and the king. Returning to his room, he began to write letters to Zengen and Hajime to recount the strange happenings in the palace. While reciting the mailing spell, Daisuke knocked on the door. He said he came here to tell the commander something very important, but before he could say anything, the vice captain Jose knocked on the door. The captain opened the door and immediately opened the door. Was attacked by Jose, so Jose was also hypnotized. Daisuke also almost lost his life while sitting on the ground shivering. Fortunately the captain was able to stop Jose. In return for saving the captain's life, Daisuke gave him a knife straight to his back. Although wounded, the captain is still very strong. Even if there are 2 more soldiers, it is not his opponent. The captain also realizes that the Daisuke can control hypnotized people. Suddenly, another group of soldiers rushed in and surrounded the captain. Realizing that the situation was not good, the captain broke the glass door and escaped. He thought he was safe, but he encountered a powerful subordinate of the god Ihito. The Hajime side was on the way when they encountered an attack. It seemed that the merchants were surrounded by a group of vicious bandits. Our truncated guy suddenly became bloodthirsty, so he rushed straight into the bandits. The bullets from the machine gun shot down the robbers one by one. Kaori, while healing everyone, discovered Princess Liliana. The princess told the whole incident at the palace to Hajime, including the fact that the teacher Aiko was arrested. Hajime decided to set out to rescue his teacher. Coincidentally, the place where the teacher was imprisoned was also a great labyrinth called Shinzen. The Aiko in the cell was thinking about Hajime and mumbling his name when she suddenly heard his voice. She was extremely surprised because she was imprisoned in a room a few dozen meters above the ground, but this god was still able to stick his head out. After destroying the wall and rescuing the teacher, he told the teacher that the kingdom's barrier was destroyed. The demon army was pouring in terrible numbers. Suddenly, a powerful attack rushed over. Fortunately, Hajime reacted quickly and saved her Aiko from danger. The one who attacked him was Noint, a powerful apostle under the god Ihito. I thought Hajime would be shy, but who knew this god would laugh and challenge her. The Hajime's wives were on their way to Shizuka's room when they noticed that the barrier was broken and the army of monsters was attacking the wall continuously. Hajime at this time also contacted Tio asking her to watch over the teacher for him because the enemy he encountered this time was extremely powerful. Tio immediately went to the Hajime's aid and asked the other two wives to stop the monsters. Suddenly a powerful attack rushed in. Fortunately you possessed space magic and successfully helped the two avoid the destructive blow. The name Freed now also appears. Hajime's two wives saw him and decided to take revenge for the crime of hurting their husbands before. Freed's attack was hit by Yu, who used space magic using this powerful firepower to hit them. The subordinate was executed, and was provoked by Yu, so the Freed felt extremely angry. At this time Mikhail's army also arrived. The two wives immediately separated into two battlefields, each of which would deal with a different army. Here, Shi's power is also completely revealed. Whether melee or ranged, this little girl will play all, not afraid of anything. I've only been married to Hajime for a few days and she's already so godly. During the battle, a poison stinger pierced her midsection, causing her body to gradually turn to stone, but having inherited the regenerative power of Melyacine, it did not harm her at all. In the end, the victory also belonged to the rabbit Shi when she successfully killed the leader Mikhail, so he could not avenge his lover, and died in battle. Too bad, who told him to move? What do Hajime's goddamn wives do? Yu's side was no less, using her elemental power to create 5 extremely powerful dragons, each of which had its own attribute power that swept countless enemies. Freed was also using Age of God magic at this time. His overwhelming power swept away even his soldiers. Yu was also badly injured. The dragon immediately pierced Yu's body with a horn stab. It was thought that Yu's life was over, but she expected to use the secret technique of the vampire race, transferring all her damage to the opponent. Realizing that the opponent was too strong, Freed fled immediately. Hajime was currently struggling with Noint's power, because he had to fight and protect his teacher, so he quickly lost his position. Fortunately, Tio appeared in time to repel Noint. After the black dragon took the teacher away from the battle, the Hajime was finally free to fight. The real battle has just begun. Hajime and Noint were constantly exchanging moves. The power of the Hajime was now much different due to inheriting the magic from the predecessors who created the labyrinths. That ancient magic dating back to the time of the gods allowed him to match Noint's hand. Noint's powerful attack destroyed the Hajime's sturdy gun with ease. Hajime realized that from the beginning of the fight until now the opponent's magic power had not decreased. Fighting power and magic power were always in full state. This caused the war to gradually worsen for him. But at that moment, he took the opportunity to deliver a powerful blow despite being injured himself. Without wasting any damage, this Hajime attack finally deals damage to the Noint's body. He then used a special weapon combined with ancient space magic to successfully destroy the Noint's 2 swords and fail her. Next is the heavy pile driver, finishing off the Noint with a powerful shot. While Hajime turned around to confirm Tio and the teacher were safe, suddenly a man's shadow appeared and motioned for the 3 to follow him. His figure showed Hajime the location of the magic circle to enter the last secret room of the Shinzen labyrinth. Here, the Aiki teacher inherited the power of the soul from the Age of Gods. Hajime also learned that the man was Laos Barn, the creator of the Shinzen labyrinth. A few hours ago, Shizuku, feeling that something was wrong, summoned his friends into a group to fight the demon army. However, when he arrived at the meeting place, he was blinded by the lieutenant's light magic and knocked unconscious by the soldiers. Shizuku was also stabbed in the back with a knife, severely injuring her. At this moment, her friend Erin came out from the darkness. It turned out that everything was caused by this woman. Because she loved cookies so much, she used all sorts of tricks to get him. She also admits to everyone that her job is to be a necromancer. Everyone understands that the soldiers' lifeless gestures are due to her necromancy, and the fact that they are already dead. Ready? To prove what you just said. She controls a soldier to kill a bad boy nearby, then she uses her necromancy to make that friend become a member of the army of corpses she is controlling. To create that army, she had to kill them one by one and turn them into her puppets. At this time, Erin was planning to kill Shizuku, but fortunately, Kaori was there in time. But suddenly Daisuke's scum appeared from behind and stabbed a sword through Kaori's body. Seeing the girl he loved so much being stabbed, Cookie unleashed all his strength, breaking the chains. Before she died, Kaori still tried her best to use her magic to heal her friends. Cookie in a fit of rage used the power of his vocation as a hero to easily sweep away the undead soldiers. Other friends were also rescued and entered combat mode. Just as Cookie was about to cut the Erin, the captain suddenly appeared. Since the captain used to be his teacher, Cookie was unable to take action. Then, he was hit by a blow that made him vomit blood. Eririn was using a kiss technique on Kaori when Hajime appeared in time to stop her. He used his teleportation ability to get close to Kaori and punched the bastard Daisuke in the wall, causing him to vomit blood. After that, Tio and teacher Aiko used the inherited magic to save Kaori's soul. The captain was also freed from his grasp by Hajime and passed away peacefully. The terrorist six-barreled gun was also taken out by Hajime to take out the zombie soldiers. When the Hajime was about to execute Eririn, the Daisuke who was behind rushed to attack him, but Hajime successfully dealt him a blow with his amazing reaction speed. Due to his corrupted nature, Hajime gave him the title of defeated dog and sent him off to the monsters, and was torn apart by the monsters as a result. The Freed also appeared at this time, boasting about his 100,000 demon army. But for Hajime, the number was just for counting. He unleashed a blow to wipe out the monsters around the imperial capital, from the big ones to the small ones, they all evaporated without a trace. The Freed who witnessed the power of the Hajime was shocked, he only barked a few silly words and then took Eririn away. After the war, Princess Liliana also became the head of the kingdom, she also received the notice of the war, all the incidents were caused by her daughter Eririn colluding with the demon race, her daughter devoted her whole life. The knights just to be able to be with Cookie forever. In addition, the mysterious priestess also turned unknown. On this side, Hajime and his wives brought a huge surprise to their friends. They succeeded in resurrecting Kaori, but in Noin's body. This was actually Kaori's wish, she wanted to be stronger to be able to stand side by side with Hajime. Cookie and his friends are also now revealed by the Hajime the truth about what they consider to be a god and his madness. During the meal, Princess Liliana and her friends all wanted to follow Hajime to conquer the labyrinths in order to gain the power from the Age of Gods and save this world. Hajime didn't agree at first, but then he changed his mind, because anyway these guys can be used as very effective bait. Even though he had hands, Hajime still let his wives feed one vermicelli to another, doesn't it look angry? Then there's this perverted dragon, she kept asking Hajime to pay the steak for her making everyone gasp. Hajime went mad and pulled out a black steak that really scared the dragon's face. The next morning, Hajime and everyone prepared for the journey to explore all the great labyrinths, and the next destination was Jukai. I don't know if he will add Shizuku to his harem in this journey or not. Season 2 has also ended here, when there is a sequel, we will continue. For now, let's say goodbye to the flower boy Hajime and his wives and move on to other series. Goodbye to all of you.